So we'll call the Budget and Finance meeting of 11/16 to order at 6:03. We've got, we put public comment right at the top, huh? Usually it's at the end. Sorry, any public want to comment? Hearing none, we'll move on. Approval of the meeting minutes from November 1st.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All right. Sean, how do you vote on those?
Yes.
Dennis, how do you vote on those?
Yes.
And I'm yes, 3-0 approval for the minutes. All right. And we covered the budget resolution last night, so we don't need to, unless you guys want to talk about it some more, but I think covered it last night, right?
Yeah, we don't need to reaffirm it here, do we? No.
No.
Because last night was a meeting.
Right. So the resolution on Oak Street Bridge repairs, I agree with the comments I've heard, which is, if there's federal money in infrastructure or state money in infrastructure, we should try to tap those resources first. My suggestion is maybe we just keep this. It's not on tonight's agenda, is it? The Oak Street resolution?
I mean, tomorrow night? Oh, tonight, yeah.
Tonight.
It's on. It's not on there.
Okay.
Bill, what I'd like to do is throw this out there. And if you want to keep it on the agenda, we can talk about it to another time, but there's no question that the bridge needs to be repaired. But I think that Oak Street itself too is in disarray, but that's a separate issue. Right. What I'd like to perhaps have you guys think about, maybe we'll talk about it next time, is just the last sentence, where it's be it resolved, the town council requests the town manager. Stop right there, get rid of everything else, and say request the town manager include the Oak Street Bridge repair as a priority in the capital budget, and seek other sources of funds such as grants, state aid, ARPA funds, federal grants, etc., to assist in the funding for these repairs, instead of putting a price tag on that.
Yeah, so it's actually about $1 million to repair the bridge. So.
I'm sure, but once you start, you can't stop. I mean, if you,
right. So
to tie up $500,000 when we don't know what's coming in the budget, because we talked about this last night, the schools are going to, according to what the finance director was saying, the schools are going to be asking for some capital needs in their budget. The town manager always does. There is a capital budget out there that we get every year of certain things, whether they're 1 year away, 2 year away. I think there should be a priority. But to transfer $500,000, I don't know what's available in that particular piece of the capital stabilization account. But if we take $500,000 and put it aside for this project, who knows? Maybe the funds that were approved this week in Washington will fund the whole thing, Bill. You don't know. But
yeah, I know.
It's a good sign. It's a good sign. But I might. Yeah. I just like to get the dollar amount out of there and make it part of the priority. Not just put it in the capital budget, but make it a priority. The whole damn street, to be honest with you.
Right.
But anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, so we're not doing too much work on it right now. I think I'd like to just keep it here in committee and revisit it later. I want to sit down with Michael and talk about, his plans for any infrastructure asks and things like that, including, as you noted, Oak Street. This came about because I've had a number of people in the neighborhood, Chris Blunt and his family and others, who have said, what's going on here? Why can't we get the bridge fixed? It's been a long time. And I may have made the mistake years ago of finding the solution to actually open it up the way it is now. I suggested to Michael that he talk to the state and at least get it open, because the dry cleaners was losing a ton of business from people that couldn't go that way. And so, maybe just keep it at the committee level, get some more input. I don't disagree with your notion of just saying it's a priority and and handling it that way. I would like to see if there's, other money. We looked into, I think it was called it had some designation bridge repair program 2 years ago, I think it was. And the bridge didn't qualify because it wasn't big enough. It's just a short span. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe we could just keep.
Yeah, I'd like to keep it here,
Meetings,
and keep talking about it. I mean, I am curious as to why it doesn't qualify. What's the qualifying factor for funds? But I've heard from at least one resident that lives near the bridge, and they kind of like it because it keeps the traffic slow. Can you imagine if you repaired that whole Oak Street and the bridge was wide open? I mean, then they'd want a police patrol there every day. It's a catch-22. But
if we weren't recording, I'd tell you I use that as a lunchtime bypass to Central Square. So.
No, it is. But it does need to be done. There's no question.
Yeah, it's funny because a bunch of people asking to get it done, and then when I put this up, I had a bunch of people saying, "No, just leave it like it is." So
We can include speed tables.
Yeah.
Speed tables work. I'm disappointed we don't have it in town.
Stetson Street.
So, even as a chair, I think I can make a motion. So I'll motion that we keep this in committee for a while.
Second.
Second, yeah.
All right, so I vote yes. Sean, your second?
Yes.
Yes, Dennis?
Yes.
Okay,
Where'd the charrette thing go? That was in here, but it's gone.
I think it just didn't, I think it was an oversight not to list it. That's okay.
Well, at some particular point, we're going to need to move on that one way or another. Just keeping it there forever doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was, we'll call it my fault because I was going back and forth with Josh about the 2 meetings last night and tonight. And I think we just dropped the charrette thing off this one. All right, moving on to the MRS grant.
I'll move to
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second. However you want to put it.
We got that. All right.
You can do the next one.
Okay, so that was, I'm sorry, Sean, were you first on that one?
No,
Dennis was.
I was.
Dennis
I'll let him do the next one.
Okay, any discussion on that?
No.
It's nice to get a couple grants. All right, Dennis, how do you vote?
Yes.
Sean, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I'll vote to recommend to the town council. Okay, DMH grant, that's 22. Sean, you were.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All right, to recommend to the council, Sean, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And finally, the acceptance of grant for COA.
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All right. Recommend to the town council, Sean, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Just want to say hello to Deborah. Deborah, welcome. Welcome to Bridgewater. Welcome to the Budget and Finance Committee. I mean, you're going to be on our council meeting tonight?
I am. I have to figure out how to do the picture. This is my first time, so bear with me. We're in the middle of a move, so everything's kind of all over the
That's
place, but I
fine.
will be on, and I'm excited
welcome.
to
Welcome.
be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank
Dennis, you
you.
wearing a tie tonight?
Huh?
Are you wearing a tie at 7?
No, why?
I'll skip the tie tonight.
No tie tonight. The second December meeting, I will.
Okay.
I might wear my,
Yes, it's his holiday tie.
I got my Thanksgiving hat. I'm gonna wear my Thanksgiving hat at 7. That's right. Yeah.
All right. All right, so.
Motion to
10
adjourn.
minutes.
See you in a half hour. Second.
Motion. Okay.
All right,
Second.
second. Sean, how do you vote to adjourn? Dennis,
Yes.
Dinner waiting.
To
He's
adjourn.
got a dinner waiting.
And that's to adjourn. All right, we're adjourned. See you in the 45 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.